Like right now, we're just kind of waiting on Danny's whatever he's doing there.
Oh, we can start anytime. I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Do your audio testing.
Yeah, I can do it during the show.
That'll destroy the credibility of the show, all right? If we start doing testing in the middle
We
of
have
it.
credibility?
All right. Welcome to episode 248 of the LinuxLUGcast. We are an open podcast /lug that meets at 9 p.m. Eastern every first and third Friday of the month using Mumble. We encourage anyone listening to join us and participate on the podcast. To join us, all you have to do is install Mumble, which is available on every single platform, or you can even go to our web browser version of Mumble. What is it called again? Mumble Web?
No, Lugcast Web.
Lugcast Web. Well, but what is the application called?
Yeah, Mumble Web.
Okay. The links are at the website linuxlugcast.com. You can check out the server details. You can check out the links to the Mumble Web. The link to the Mumble Web is not very pretty right now, but I gotta go back and kind of fix it up. But it is there. So if you want to go to it, it's there. If you can't show up and participate on the podcast, or you don't want to and still want to converse with us, you can send us an email at feedback@linuxlugcast.com. You can check us out on Matrix. Links are in the show notes and on linuxlugcast.com. We have a Lemmy page where we post things. Well, Danny posts things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post one in a long time, every once in a while, and it'll get shot down and torn to shreds. And...
I don't know why that is. You're the only one. You're the only one whose posts get like downvoted to -5 or whatever. That's all, and it's nothing wrong with it.
It wasn't even bad.
No, none of them are bad. It's all related and everything.
We'll get into that later because I actually wanted to talk about it because I thought it was a halfway decent article in the first place. At the very least, there was some good history in it. There's a lot of it. It was pretty in depth onto SMTP. But all right, we also have you can listen to us. You can watch us. You can. There's the audio feed you can download. RSS feeds you can download. There's a video both on YouTube and on Peertube, where you can see these beautiful faces. And Joe, with us tonight is Eric.
Good evening, everybody.
Joe.
I may cut out early tonight. I'm super tired.
It's your birthday. This is we're having this is just for you. This podcast.
Lovecraft.
Hello, everybody. Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you.
Minnix.
I'm here. Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you.
Morton C.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Also, thank you.
Netminer.
Hi guys, happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you.
Best wishes, Jackie.
All right. For those who don't know, it's Joe's birthday.
What about
Hey,
Eric?
did you know it's my birthday?
Did you say Eric?
If I forgot to tell you, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What about Lugbot?
Did we want to introduce Lugbot?
Yeah, we'll try it.
Okay, and with this is Lugbot.
I have a joke to tell.
He has a joke. Do you think he can make it through it?
No. Tell us, Lugbot. What's your joke?
I thought that was the joke.
Okay, go ahead, Lugbot. Whenever you're ready.
Was bruised and bloody, but
I don't think so.
football game.
Hadouken?
Lugbot, can you repeat the joke?
My first time I had sex was like my first high school football spoken.
Okay. I got that.
What's the rest of the joke?
I was bruised and bloody, but at least my dad came.
I've heard that one before, Lugbot.
Dark.
You managed to spit it out. There you go.
And with that, we lost the rest of our listeners.
Thank you.
Right. There goes our family friendly.
Well, family friendly's been gone, but I mean, we just kicked that one right off. I mean, we didn't even ease into it. That was just right off the bat.
Good night.
Yeah, good night is right. Good night, everybody.
All right. You want to talk about the movie since
yes, let's talk about the movie.
I got everything back. Lugbot still has some improvements to do. This works.
The LinuxLUGcast.
What was it called? Bikini Hackers?
Bikini Hackers. So let me sum up Bikini Hackers. Bikini Hackers was something that basically looked like it was written for porn, but then had absolutely no nudity in it.
Yeah, it was like porn without the porn.
None. Not even a little bit. It was PG-13. And I'm
It
surprised
was the G version.
No,
Everything was cut out.
Look, PG-13, you're allowed
G.
to flash boobs once. This didn't have that.
All
it
right.
had nothing.
Well,
It was almost G. PG. It was probably more PG than it was PG-13.
Did you
There
at
might
least
have been
like
just
Willie,
a little bit
the
more
Asian
suggestive.
man?
Look,
was that
the girl, the one really, really scrawny girl wore a thong for a large portion of the movie, and that was about as close as you got.
Well, let me
Thong
give
bikini.
a quick overview of it because I know that the listeners are dying to
Oh,
watch
please
this.
tell me the plot because I couldn't find one.
Well, one thing, when I saw it was made in 2023, I knew this is going to be a bad time because these kind of movies were best in the 80s, like the sex comedies of the 80s, and this was not that. This was something shot on an iPhone or something. I don't know, but it starts out with there's a rave, I guess, and I'm still trying to figure out how this girl came to be in this other girl's bed in the morning, but
They were in a rave and they went home together.
is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Haven't you ever
them at
taken
the
some
rave.
random girl home or gone home with some random girl?
But were they even at did it show them at the rave?
Not
It just
really.
showed a rave. And then, okay.
They woke
and then
up in bed together.
I guess one of
The
the
confusing part was the whole. Then she decided to that
We're
apparently
going to
she-
make you a bikini hacker.
right.
well, let me
Just because they hooked up the
give
night
the
before,
outline.
they're
Oh,
like,
no,
yeah,
no,
now you're a
criticize
bikini
let,
hacker.
let him give the synopsis because I want
Yeah.
to hear the
That's
Come
not
on.
a synopsis. This is
It's
gonna go way
quiet.
too long, man.
quiet. Okay. So the one of the protagonists wakes up in a bed in a nice house and doesn't really know where she is, and she goes out into the kitchen and there's the other protagonist, and she's wearing a bikini, and
This is only going to take an hour and 6 minutes.
and
Exactly.
oh yeah, also the movie's only just over an hour. No name
Thank God.
actors and actresses, no name director, no name producers. But and this ditzy blonde says that she's a hacker, and all you have to do is type numbers into the web browser, and all of a sudden you get access to all this money, and that their mission, this team of hackers, bikini hackers, sorry, is to steal all the money and distribute it amongst everybody. So they're trying to
And work
level the
wherever they
playing
want
field.
to next to a pool in a bikini because nobody knows that you're doing that.
Yeah, and they want to have access to a swimming pool. So there's this whole team of bikini hackers. I forget what all. One of them can seduce anybody she pleases. The other one is like
She looks like, Stacy's mom.
yeah, and the other another one is in charge of security. Another one I didn't really understand.
The girl
It's hard
that's in
to
charge
security
of
just means that she
security.
hits people with
Yes.
a crowbar.
Yes, that's it. That's her job, is to hit people with a crowbar.
Yes.
And then the black girl can be anywhere at any time or something.
She can get into anything, yes.
Okay,
And just say random shit.
Yeah, she says really
Random
weird
shit.
stuff, like birds aren't real and stuff like that. And so their first job with this new girl is to, I don't really know, to hack this company, get inside the company, and do. They don't really do any
banking
hacking.
conglomerate, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. And all you have to do is hook up this USB in the office
And steal all the money and give it to everybody.
and burn down the entire everything. And yeah.
And so that's what they do. And then at the end, blah blah, nothing really happens.
The only reason that it works is because the guy that got seduced by the girl that could sleep with anybody turned out to be like gay and met his former gay boyfriend at this company that they were visiting, and yeah, that's the entire plot of the movie.
I love this movie.
And he's a furry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and he's a furry.
Yeah, this movie has some odd plot points.
The blonde girl with the really, really, really terrible accent that had no
so
actual
annoying.
like boobs.
Right.
Her top did keep disappearing, but only when she was wearing a jacket.
Oh, you forgot the last member of the team, the Asian man.
Oh, the
who
Asian
was
guy who
in
gets
charge of
everything together?
logistics. Yeah, who
Mhm.
followed them all around and picked up their tops whenever they came off.
And did like nothing.
Yeah, and he would just run around and say weird stuff. His name was Willie. He was the best part of the movie.
I wish I could have watched this in 3x. That's all I'm saying. Tubi only let me do 1.5, and I was very disappointed that I was
You
only
can get
able to do 1.5.
you can get an extension for Chrome that'll let you do 2x. It's called the
Really?
Flex extension. Yes,
I'll have to
And it
keep
works
that in
on
mind.
Tubi.
Flex speed. It works on any video. It works on YouTube. It works
Okay.
any video.
Yeah, I watched it at 1x, and even at just over an hour, it was hard to sit through.
Atrocious.
Who were they chatting with on the what
I
is
don't
that little
know.
chat?
Random other hackers around the world that were excessively stupid.
Were they
I like the fact that they're in a
chatting
room
with them?
with
Were the
a
girls chatting with
screen
them?
with green stuff
They were
all over the
chatting
place.
about the girls.
Yeah.
OBSEC was the name of their
Yeah.
group, right? So that's okay. I didn't know
I thought it
what
was
was
a
going on.
company.
By the way, to the people who haven't seen this, every once in a while the screen comes up with chat
session.
Yeah.
with hackers, and they're talking about kind of what's going on during the movie. I guess they're trying to make it clear what's going on, but it doesn't do that. It makes it even more obtuse. And they have the typical Hollywood hacker sitting in this room with like camouflage netting over his desk and matrix symbols coming down his computer screen.
And that girl that was saying like really random things,
Yes.
she did it for like 5 minutes. It was like filler for this really short movie that didn't have a plot, barely had women in it in general, and was called Bikini Hackers.
Oh, and also the new girl to the team says, why do we have to wear these bikinis? Because keep in mind, while they're infiltrating this corporation, they're all wearing bikinis, but they have like a shirt, open shirt. Like one girl, the security girl, she has a security shirt that's open, with just her top hanging out. And another girl is like just wearing a straight up bikini, nothing over it, and walking through there. And then another girl says she's some kind of CEO, and she has a suit jacket with a bikini on underneath. Anyway, the justification that the leader gives is that just in case there's a pool nearby that they need to jump in real quick, they have to wear these bikinis all the time, no matter where they're at. So that's how they justify it.
It makes
And at
perfect
the
sense to
end,
me.
the guy that owned the company that they burned, that they destroyed, just randomly shows up at this random place where they're at the pool, just finds them and confronts them.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in the movie. He fires everybody and enjoys firing people at his corporation. And they have a weird gay romance that I don't know why it exists there.
That's with their tech guy and the owner of the other company that's trying to merge with the company that's getting
I guess
destroyed.
it was supposed to be humorous. but it was not. And I don't know, man. This movie just made me feel really bad after I finished watching it. Like,
Right.
what am I doing
I mean,
with
there
my
wasn't
life?
even
basically?
any. There wasn't even any gratuitous nudity to break up the monotony of
No.
this movie.
And if you look, it says it has a TV rating. It's not even on Tubi. It had a TV rating. Wasn't even a real like movie. So it must have come out on
And I
Sci-Fi
tried-
or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I figured that this was originally a softcore porn movie, so that there had to be an original version of this that was actually like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. No,
The
could
girls
not
make out
find.
with each other on
Barely.
the desk. Yeah.
Barely.
But even that was kind of bad. Looked forced and bad.
So I watched the 1 minute trailer while you guys started, and I think I got like everything I needed to know. And if it
Yes.
was that short, then it was like 1/60th of the entire movie. So
Yes.
Probably is.
Look,
Um,
you could condense this movie into about 5 minutes and cover everything.
Yeah.
the one thing I'll say is that given all of the sensitivity towards this type of entertainment, I have to say that I'm a little bit happy to see this like weird campy like. And I of course, it's awful. Like, there's no redeeming quality, but the fact that somebody still just decided to make something like this, and
I see
Yeah.
your point, but this is so
Look,
bad. It's
it's-
not even so bad. It's good. It's just
Exactly.
bad. Like,
It's not even so horrible that it's torturous. It's just, why is this on the screen? You know, Birdemic has absolutely zero redeeming qualities. I am aware of this. But it is so horrible that it's completely worth it to torture all your friends with.
and you can laugh at it too.
Exactly.
Just didn't make me laugh.
And I think Birdemic was somebody's actual attempt to make a movie they thought was good.
Oh,
I think this movie.
tongue-in-cheek.
I think
for
this
sure.
movie was just an attempt to launder money successfully.
Yeah, it was like intentionally ironic and stuff.
That makes sense, that they were just trying to launder money and didn't actually want to pay anybody.
It was just bad, real bad.
I want to kill myself.
Yeah, it was that bad. I can't recommend this to anybody, not even not even a child molester. I wouldn't even recommend it to anybody my worst enemy, somebody I hate.
Look,
It's just,
I wouldn't put this on a loop to torture people because they could easily ignore it and not care.
yeah, it was terrible. Oh, who picked this? Nobody's going to admit
Birthday boy.
I didn't put this on the list.
it. I did not.
I mean, me and Honky helped pick it because, well,
Yeah.
we didn't have
Nobody
a
else was here?
randomizer.
Oh, that's right. I need to get that ready. Let's see. Anything else you want to say about this?
Don't watch it. It sucked balls.
It was mildly funny just because of the fact of how just incredibly stupid it was. But it was done in a way that, like I said, it was done in a way that made you feel like it was a softcore porn, but without the actual porn.
Yeah, like
so
that.
you felt awkward watching it, and then you're like, no.
That's how bad the acting was that
Yeah.
it was that level of acting.
But the stupidity of it was on par with Birdemic.
The dialogue was on par with
Oh,
Birdemic.
I can confirm that I did not add it because it's got an IMDb link, and I make the IMDb link part of the name of the movie when I add movies.
I think we need to add some more movies to that list.
Yeah, we're getting short on that list, but it's getting
Yeah.
hard to find, you know.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all aflutter.
Oh, we didn't mark off Titan AE.
We didn't
Did y'all
mark off
talk
a
about
bunch of
that
them.
last show?
Of course we did.
Okay. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
It has a hash in front of it, but it doesn't have a rating.
Oh, we didn't put a rating on there?
Okay, you ready? Sci-fighter from 2004.
Sci-fighter?
We haven't seen that yet, have we?
No.
No. Sci-fighter. Spell it.
It has Sci-fighter as 2 words. SCI space fighter.
SCI dash fighter.
Oh, it's dash. Okay. What's it about, Honky?
Don Wilson and Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh, there we go.
And Lorenzo
Yeah, I
Lamas.
wouldn't put
Finally.
this one on the list.
Finally,
Somebody's
a good movie.
It's another
somebody's
Don.
love for Don Dragon Wilson.
Because he always plays the exact same character, and he has 0 range as an actor.
Oh, we forgot to rate the movie that we just.
Oh, we rated it. It was a big fat goose egg.
What did you want to rate it, Joe?
Thumbs up for me.
Okay, there we go. Joe has bad taste. Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Did we rate Titan AE?
That was 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
For Titan?
Yeah.
I did thumbs up.
Okay, so 3 thumbs up.
I thought Titan AE was had really good acting, had
All-star
good acting,
cast.
good cast, had good dialogue, but 0 plot.
Yeah, the plot was a bit rough in that.
Did you like the animation? Was
Animation
it traditional
was-
or was it digital?
It was. I think it was digital, but it kind of looked traditional.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was very, very early days. I mean, the movie didn't come out till what, 90?
Was it 2000?
I think
You're
it's
right.
just
I think it's
2000.
2000.
Okay, I put 3 stars on there. Where's
Yeah, it's 2000.
Did you look up Sci-fighter?
Yeah, I put the
Okay. I'll tell you the synopsis real quick. A computer
Dragon
virus.
Wilson.
A computer virus has invaded a virtual reality fighting game, leaving a rebellious teen trapped within. Now the boy's father must enter the tainted program and battle his way through a deadly maze of martial arts fighters to save his son. Hey, we saw a movie like this where he was in the
well, we saw something
virtual
like this, but it was
fighting game.
Don
was,
the Dragon Wilson
Dragon
makes
Wilson.
the same movie over and over again?
What was that one called?
I don't
Virtual
remember, but that
Fighter?
one was more like Virtuosity, though, because remember, the guy came out of the game and started killing people.
It was also... Are you talking about the Inception one where they went into the game and then they went into the game and then you didn't know if they came out of the game?
No.
This is this. He used to practice inside of the game, and the guy he kept on losing to inside of the practice part came
Got
out of the game. And he was also trying to find the woman who was in the sex bot game or whatever. It was not a game, but the sex bot thing that they pulled out.
I thought it was called like Virtual Fighter or something.
Maybe.
I'll see.
This is a different movie, but it's just going to have the same plot.
Virtual Combat.
Oh, that's right.
It only got 1 star for some reason.
I'm betting this one will get the same star. Cough, cough, Mordency, cough, cough.
Completely different movie. We have no idea.
Mortency? No, right there, Danny. Danny has a soft spot for anything Don the Dragon Wilson.
I'm pretty sure
it's gonna get at least 1 thumbs up from him.
Cynthia Rothrock is awesome though.
The trailer, the hardware that they use is a very obvious bicycle helmet with like it's so silly.
It is a bicycle helmet.
Look,
no,
okay.
I mean, yeah, good.
This might get 1 star for me because it's got not only Don Wilson, but it's got Lorenzo Lamas, the Renegade.
And Cynthia Rothrock, who's awesome. Well, this has
And
some
no budget.
interesting CGI. I'm looking at the trailer now, and they have this whenever he's in the virtual world with the bicycle helmet on, it's like those green scan lines, you know.
Well,
So there-
when he goes in the virtual world, does he go into those giant, big O-ring things that spin you all around?
No.
Oh.
He's just sitting down in this one, and then he goes into like the green grid, and it turns into like virtuosity, basically.
Well,
So I'm
virtuosity
looking-
was actually. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so on YouTube, they're saying there are a couple postings of, they're saying the whole thing, but it's Extreme Sci-fighter. AKA, so it says X-Treme, so Extreme Fighter,
Oh, okay.
AKA Sci-fighter.
Yeah, a lot of these movies have different titles or other titles too. This is on Tubi, by the way.
Okay.
So
I thought Virtuosity actually had a decent setup when it came
no,
to
I like
virtual stuff.
Virtuosity.
No,
Yeah.
Virtuosity
it
had a
had-
budget. It had big name actors.
No, I meant just portraying people in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
virtual environment because
They
they
had the
had
full,
like a thing
hanging
over their head,
rig. Yeah.
and they had a rig where it like lifted them off the ground, and they had to like physically move, but they
Yeah.
were like up off the ground and stuff.
Not in this one. This one, he's just sitting on a couch.
As opposed to the other one where it had him, a lot of the other ones like Lawnmower Man, where they stick him in this giant the giant thing that just spins him all around.
Or Virtual Combat, where he's in
Does anybody know what the name of those things are?
some kind of gyroscope or gravity deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sci-fighter.
Okay, we have to add VR Fighter from 2021 to the list.
Add it.
I got to get to the list.
So before Netminer falls asleep, I know he had some stuff
Okay.
he wanted to talk about. Netminer, are you still awake there, bud?
Hello, Netminer. There he is.
He's lit up, and his mic is lit, but he's not talking.
We're hearing ourselves from his
Echo.
mic or speaker. So he's not muted. Are you there, buddy? Maybe he's sleeping.
Well,
No,
he
because he
just-
had to unmute. Because
Oh,
the echo
okay.
comes and goes.
he
So
had to
stop
push the
talking
talk
for a
button.
second. Let him do his stuff.
I'm waiting. Netminer.
All right, what's the link for the nextcloud for the list? I don't seem to have it anymore.
Oh.
It's in the Matrix.
I'm looking here in the matrix.
And the topics for the room.
Room settings.
Yes.
Netminer. Are you there, buddy?
Okay. Well,
What happened? Is
he
that
left
him?
the channel.
Oh,
and
he
disconnected.
left.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe he'll come back on. We had an issue today with Microsoft.
Everybody had an issue today with Microsoft.
Did anybody hear
We were
about that?
fine. Apparently, my company uses Google, so
I didn't have it. I think we are on XP still, so there was no,
I
no
read
issue
that,
at my company.
I read that they were
XP
claiming,
and Windows 2003 server.
I read that they're claiming this is the largest single outage between the two companies. So it was Microsoft and then this cloud something.
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike, yeah. So
Antivirus / anti-malware for Microsoft, since Microsoft doesn't secure their own stuff.
I mean, how you push something like that without...
Look, it's called testing in production. Everybody does it.
Yeah, okay. Oh.
And here's the thing. Everybody was, not everybody, but a lot of people I was reading were trying to say this has nothing to do with Microsoft. It's all CrowdStrike and blah, blah. But They have
Microsoft-
to
But Microsoft is
they have to
apologizing for it.
They have to sign off on it, you know. So it is on them.
Morton, see, you flipped again.
I think. So we got double.
So my Jitsi keeps minimizing and going to a small window.
You got a double mic somewhere.
It's netminer's back.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, Warnsey. It's not you.
Netminer, you want to try talking again? Mic opens up, but we can't hear it.
Netminer, are you there?
I wonder what could be the problem.
Danny, we lost a box in Jitsi. Was that the netminers or was that
Yeah, that
the
was
recording?
netminers. That was
Okay,
netminers.
I thought the recording used to have its own box.
It doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, really?
So
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that was him. So I don't know. You want to just continue on until he gets sorted?
Sure.
Is he on Mumble at all?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Hey, there he is.
hey, there he is.
Yeah, I got a loose connection here. Yeah, I'm going to be running just Mumble here, not running the web stuff because this computer clearly wants the weekend off. But yeah, I've been experimenting with hardware this week. I have put Q4OS on a 2 gig Pi 4, and I appear to have a usable desktop, which is kind of amazing in that I could actually watch YouTube video, maybe only one, but.
What's your DE?
Trinity.
Oh, okay.
Trinity, and it's on 32-bit. Basically, it's based on PiOS 32-bit with the Trinity desktop laid on top. It's Bookworm, but 32-bit, which means that it is for 4 gig and less machines. But it seems to work all right.
What browser are you using?
Chromium. Chromium is the one that PiOS supports, and it's supposed to be the most performant on the Pi 4, and it's built into PiOS or used in PiOS instead of Firefox because Firefox is considered a little heavy on PiOS, and Chromium is on this 32-bit version of Q4OS. Works all right. And I haven't really worked with it that much, but putting up a desktop that will actually run on this platform has been a trick because I've tried other stuff, and usually on a Pi they recommend a minimum of four gigs to run a desktop, but this too seems to work all right. Haven't tested it thoroughly, but I was just surprised that it worked decently. Again, it's a Pi, so it's not necessarily going to be any barn burner, but it did all right, and it will provide a graphical environment that I can run through X to go, since I'm not really comfortable with a pure console environment. On other news, I picked up a Lenovo M700 Tiny i3 6100T, and it's now a desktop with MX Linux on it, and it seems to be running pretty good. And that's going to be a desktop, while the former i7 that I was using is going to be probably running Proxmox eventually.
Where'd you get that little Lenovo?
Amazon. It was $80, something like that.
It's an i3 6th gen.
i3 6100, yeah.
What are the other specs?
2 cores, 4 threads. It's got I installed 0.5 terabyte SATA 2.5-inch SSD in it, and 16 gigs of RAM from stuff that I had lying around. It came with 8, and I put in 16. It also gave me experience with the difference between 4 real cores and a 2-core hyper-threaded machine. It works okay, but you notice that there is a difference in horsepower. This is a bit of a Volkswagen.
Did you look at that XPipe for containers and stuff?
I have looked at an XPipe in the back. In the past, I'm interested in it, but I don't have enough of the I don't have enough experience, and my book on Docker is not the one that I need to really dig into Docker properly. So XPipe is there, and I'm aware of it, but I don't have a lot of structure on how it will link into a proper system. It looks great.
I haven't really looked at it much. I just saw that it gives you a GUI it's a GUI application to manage Docker. But I don't know if you can actually deploy Docker containers with it, or is it just to monitor them, or what?
I think it's designed to be a command console connection type thing. So you set up your Dockers, and then you tell XPipe where they are, and it goes out and puts its little tendrils out to the world.
Okay, I got you.
Now, yeah, I've been. I hope that the lower powered i3 would not be quite as heat sensitive in my environment, but it appears that all of them are that way. And the hard shell cases are just not designed to vent heat enough when it's 85, 90 degrees ambient here. Also, I haven't changed the thermal paste, so that could be part of it, but I'll be working on that down the road.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to ask you. Did you ever try that Raspberry Pi Connect, that new software that Raspberry Pi came out with on any of your Pis?
I haven't. It's in a category like Chrome Desktop or TeamViewer. I don't
Do you have to go through their servers?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
I'm planning on setting up really BDon X2Go on all of my machines, and that's one reason why I like this Q4 OS, because it looks like it would be a great desktop to interface through X2Go. And with X2Go, I can have all my connections strictly in-house. And it has audio and file sharing and storage sharing. I mean, you can remote device sharing and stuff like that. I haven't really dug into it enough to know all the bells and whistles, but I have, I think, watched a YouTube video on a Pi through an X2Go connection, which I considered to be a reasonable test for a full media experience. Unfortunately, RDP on Linux usually leaves out a lot of the audio connection and other stuff like that. But it would be really a great tool, but it's not fully implemented. Anyway, that's mostly my contribution. I was configuring and reconfiguring machines for the last couple of weeks. I pulled out a lot of NVMe SSDs to reduce the heat load internal to my machines, which seems to help, but not when the ambient temperature gets up above 80 degrees in the room. Again, I haven't done the thermal paste, but that may help. But these are just not, they just don't have a lot of ventilation. In fact, I found my little Pi 2 gig didn't have a fan in it, so I've got some fans that I hope to install. And that's my contribution for tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for your patience. And yeah, I'm going to see what I can do about dealing with some of my technical difficulties as far as keeping this headset connected. I may tape it to a trustworthy USB extension.
Well, don't feel bad. My whole microphone setup about 5 minutes ago just decided to fall off of my what it's mounted to. It was like a catastrophe. Like everything, all the wires went flying and pulled like a fan. It was kind of a comedic thing, but yeah, sort of a little scary too. So
well, I had to return something through Staples today, and when you return stuff through Staples, they give you a 15% coupon. And I went and I was looking, and I said, and they had a nice deal on Logitech wireless keyboard and mouse sets. But then again, I went over to the USB headset thing, and they had one for like 19 bucks. And I said, you know, I could always use a spare headset. And I took it home, and it's in its box. And now my connections falling apart here reinforced why I bought a spare headset in case the USB connection flakes out more thoroughly. But, you know, sometimes on Notes from All Over, one of the people I followed is upgrading a Farmall H. He's rebuilding this tractor. He got it running, bolted everything together, and he noticed a ticking from one of the valves or stuff. He had to tear it down. He's fixed one problem, and it's still ticking away. And I made a comment that the YouTuber was asking for trouble. He named the project Preparation H. And I said, with that kind of name, you should have known you're going to have at least one large pain in the ass. Yeah, Murphy will not be denied. Good night, gentlemen, and thank you for everything. I think I'm
Good night, netminer.
Gonna crash. Give my best to everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, man.
I sent you those links, netminer. Let me know if you didn't get them. Later.
So, has anybody been working on any projects?
Yeah.
We've
I
been
don't know
working
if you
on.
can see the screen here.
No. Hold on a second.
You're in 2 frames per second mode.
Right.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is a little dev board. LilyGo, I think, made it. Yeah, LilyGo made it. And it's Mini D1 Plus V3. Anyways, it's the dev board that I got to convert this little keyboard to a Bluetooth keyboard. This is that Palm keyboard that I talked about on last show.
Yeah.
I had ordered parts from AliExpress because that was the only place you could get these extremely tiny switches, limit switches. So I just ordered the dev board from there too, since it was going to take the same amount of time to ship. And, well, I ended up ordering the wrong board. I should have ordered the one without the battery holder in the back. So now I have to find a way to remove this battery holder without damaging the rest of the board. I can order another one. I mean, it's going to be, if I order it from Amazon, it's $16. If I order it from AliExpress again, it's like $8 or $12 or something. But either way, it still takes about the same amount of time to get to me. So I might just order from AliExpress again, since my orders are showing up and my credit card number hasn't been stolen yet.
Yet.
So I am going to try and remove the battery holder and just use this. But yeah, I mean, the build seems easy enough. And yeah, I will be using some of the Arduino IDE and loading software onto here using that. But and then also 3D printing the casing for it, soldering some wires onto all the fun stuff that I enjoy. I get to do to make this build and then see if it works, you know, find out where I failed. But not only do I have to remove the battery holder, but then I think I have to remove this piece for size, and then I have to remove this little tiny power switch, so that way I can run the wires from there to one of these little limit switches. That way when you slide it onto the keyboard, it turns on. and then I have to also attach a LiPo battery to it. So it shouldn't be excessively difficult, but it will be fun.
There you go.
I got
So
a
what
bunch of
happened
those ESP32 little dev boards if you need an extra one.
Yeah, this build, the way this guy did it, required this very specific board,
Oh,
which
okay.
is why I ordered it. Otherwise, I'd have ordered the ESP32 boards that had the built-in Bluetooth and is it Bluetooth and Wi-Fi or just Bluetooth?
Mine has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Okay, so yeah,
That thing's the C3, ESP32 C3.
because you can order like 5 of those for like next to nothing on Amazon.
That's what I did. Well, I got them from AliExpress, but basically same thing.
Yeah.
They don't have headers on them though.
Well, this doesn't have it has header holes, so I
Yeah,
have
I've
to.
got it. It's castellated, but there's no. You have to put your own headers.
Yeah, same with this. But I have to remove a bunch of parts from it first. And I was hoping that it was surface mount, but it seems to be through hole on this battery holder, so, and it's really close to other parts. So I might end up damaging it, taking parts off. But that's the cost of doing business. So yeah, fun little project for me.
Anything else, or anything else?
Well, my middle child purchased a car. She bought a 2013 Mini Cooper, like 120,000 miles on it, I think.
Is this when you were saying that she doesn't have a license yet, but she bought a car?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And it's titled to me, and I have driven it to work the last couple of days, making sure things are good. And I'm probably going to end up driving it more than she does, honestly. But for now, she's getting her permit, her learner's permit on Monday, and then I'm adding her to the insurance, and I'm probably going to have to switch to liability just because of how much it costs to add someone her age to my insurance.
How old is she now?
She's 20.
Young driver.
Yeah, and first-time driver, etc., etc. So, but I had tried, because there isn't a whole lot of places in a Mini Cooper to mount a cell phone mount, but there is the CD player, and so I was testing out different prints, because this is PLA, and I'm not going to put PLA in a car in Texas. But I wanted to test out and see how things would work, and this print I think came out pretty good and would work, except it was made out of PLA. And then I thought about doing it with PET-G, because I do have PET-G available, and I have a fresh roll ready to go and all that jazz. But looking at it and the temperatures that it has been this year, I doubt even PET-G would survive. I would need to go with like ABS or ASA or something like that. And I can print ABS, but I would have to get out the enclosure, and it's extremely difficult to print, and it might destroy my print bed because it sticks so hard. But in the end, I ended up purchasing one of the mounts, and then I'm also going to order from AliExpress the magnets for MagSafe, because I ended up getting I needed a case with a cover, so I ended up getting a MagSafe case. And then, like, let me see if I can take this off of here real quick. I had ordered one of these, which works well, and then I had printed my own ball so I could mount it in here. But this works well to hold my phone, but I don't like the price. You know, it's like $6 each, and I want several of them. So I had tried making my own using some STLs from Thingiverse, and once again, PLA, yes I know, but I could have put this in the car and then used these out here in the other locations in the house where I wanted it. And you can see it uses 50 different, what is it, 4x2 mm magnets, and they're press fit. And I can get the first row, the inner row, well, that's where I started, in using a hammer and a tap. So like a hole punch tap. So you just set it on there and you line it up and you just tap it into place. And then I was able to do the first row that way. But then I started on the outer row, and you can see here on the empty slots, every time I put one in the outer row, it would push out the one from the inner row. So it was a pain in the ass to get that first row in. And then the second row, putting that in, would pop out the first row. So I finally said, to hell with it, I'm not doing that one. And I found some solid rings, but only AliExpress is selling them at this time. And then I can make a 3D print that just houses those rings and then has the ball mount on the back. And that should work out well. And I'm getting, when I order those, I'll be getting 3 of them for $5.44. So I'll probably, and if I have more than $12 on the order, then it's free shipping. So I'll probably just order 3 sets, and that would give me 3 sets of 3. So 9 mounts that I could make. And I did think about setting these into place and gluing them, but the press fit is so tight that I would probably have to redo the STL so that it's like 2% larger, and then I think that would take it out of the alignment with the actual ring. So yeah, fun things that I've been working on that failed miserably. Other than that, yeah, it's kind of it. Although I will say that with the with this print here, the CD player mount, I really like how this attaches to this without being a single print. So like this will, there's a screw that goes through the middle and you screw it into place, and that's what holds it. And I think that being able to print the ball while it's sitting up like this instead of trying to print it on its side or from the bottom up just makes for a better 3D print that just works a whole lot better than the other ones that I was doing. So I'm going to start incorporating that into my other prints.
Makes sense. I think the only hard part of that sometimes is
Printing
getting
the ball, yeah.
Well, printing is something that'll thread right too. We try to screw something in. I've had problems where like just if it doesn't print smoothly through the threads, then you have a hard time screwing something in.
Yeah, the nice thing about this is it doesn't actually have the threads in the plastic. You drop a nut into the shaped hole, and then you pass the bolt through, and then just screw the bolt in.
Okay, there you go. All right. Anybody else have anything? Oh, I'm sorry. Go finish.
And I don't have to worry about the threads wearing out like it would with plastic.
That's true.
Or over tightening. I am done now.
Yeah, I really haven't done anything. I took a 11-day trip to go visit my family, and between that and the normal sort of medical stuff that I have to do, I really haven't had time to. This is probably the longest I've sat at my computer in like over 2 weeks.
Trump got shot at.
Is that what happened? Oh, I know. What
I
wanted
heard
to
he
ask.
stumbled on stage and the Secret Service had to help stand him up.
Oh, is that what happened?
That was the news titles I saw.
He cut his ear on the fall.
I was there were several fake news. I was watching it when it happened. I was watching it live.
Hey, Lovecraft, are you there?
Yep. What's happening?
Remember you mentioned that Tony had some procedure he had to do. Did you ever hear back from him?
I have not. I sent him another text, and I didn't hear back from him. He was shopping around. He wanted me to help him pick out a cool mouse. He wanted like something with like some lights on it, a little bling. So I sent him a text. They asked him how he was doing. I sent him a picture of this mouse I found on Amazon, but I didn't hear back from him. But I think his appointment was coming up like real soon. If it didn't happen last week, it should be coming up this week. But yeah, he was saying he was having trouble walking and something with his leg. So they were going to try and do something about that. But he was asking about all you guys and saying he's real interested to get back on and listening because he actually hasn't been back to his house since October.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. So I wish him the best, and hopefully we'll be able to see him in the listening booth soon.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Has he been in just like a rehab facility for like physical therapy and stuff, or in the
Yeah,
hospital?
I think he was hospital, rehab.
Can you hear me talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so he was flip flopping back and forth, I think, between the hospital and rehab. He's for as close as he actually lives to me. He's the next town over. He's actually closer to me now in the rehab he's in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's probably like maybe less than a half mile away.
That's not bad.
Yeah, if I knew what room or what floor he was in, I was going to swing over and drop him off a little something. Apparently, he's a big soda drinker, so he said his family's bringing him some soda. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They probably restrict his soda intake at the rehab facility.
He said he's got a little stash of it, so I don't know. You know.
Sneaky Tony.
And if dude hasn't been home in 9 months, he can have a soda, you know?
Oh yeah.
So I have a few things. I moved. Well, I had this little Dell i5 6th gen small form factor computer just sitting around without any RAM in it. And my backup Proxmox server was on one of those Chinese mini PCs at my friend's house. But I didn't have room to put enough storage in it, so I was using USB storage. Proxmox doesn't really like USB storage. Backup server doesn't. So I exchanged it out with that little Dell server, that old Dell small form factor for backup server for offsite backups, and then the little mini PC I brought home, and I'm using it for Jitsi and for Mumble. Let's see if I can get the camera to show. It's, if you can see, I have a tiny little monitor. See how small it is. And then back there is it's hard to see, but it's a little squarish mini PC. And it seems to be performing pretty well. And then there's my laptop. So I got that. And then I got from my workshop, they gave out stuff that they couldn't sell in like this fundraising garage sale. So I was able to get one of those little wyse thin clients. I think me and Lovecraft talked about it. They use them at your work, right, Lovecraft?
Yeah, we don't use wyse, but we use another vendor. They're called 10zig, but yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, and so I think I was doing kind of the install and update process, documenting it through the matrix room, and I ran into this. So I opened it up just to look inside, and it's got 16 gigs of flash storage and either 2 or 4 gigs of RAM, and it's a little tiny. I think it's an Atom CPU, but it's a quad core, or I can't remember if it's dual core or quad core. Anyway, so I tried to just install Linux the traditional way on a little thumb drive, and it wouldn't write to this SSD I had, which I took the flash storage out, and then I took the SSD out of the little plastic case and replaced the flash storage with that. And it would get to a point, and it would just stop writing to that SSD. And so I tried all that. That SSD was actually bad. It was a Chinesium brand, but so I put a good one in there, and it would still not work correctly. But FDisk was writing to it. So I looked, and I saw people were complaining you have to update the BIOS to get it to act right if you want to install stuff via USB. So I found a tool called flashrom. I'll put it in the notes. And it's pretty cool. It's just a command line utility that you use to, if you can get to a terminal on the target machine. Let's see, flashrom, if I can find it, and it's just for updating BIOSes. So I found the BIOS from the Dell website. They used to make wyse. I don't know if they still have them or not. I put the URL in there, and that's the tool. But the Debian live image I was using on USB, like I could boot to it, but I couldn't install from it. But flashrom is already in the repos, the Debian repos. Cause I tried to build it and it wasn't building right, and so I just installed it through apt, and you point it to the BIOS, and it does a little scan of the motherboard, and I download the BIOS, and I was able to update the BIOS on the wyse thin client, and then it gave me a lot more options like UEFI options and stuff. And then I had the original flash storage in there just to see if it worked, and it worked. So I took that out and I put a good SSD in there. I think 128 or 256 gigabytes, and then I was able to install Debian on it. So it's a neat little computer for. It's real small too, if you've seen those wyse thin clients, and got that running. And so I've been experimenting with like Grafana and some other like server monitoring tools with it, and I think that's what I'm going to use it for, just as an external PC to monitor my server and stuff. And you can send yourself emails from it using postfix and stuff like that. Like if things go wrong, I get an email alert. And it tells you like which containers or which VMs are down or haven't started when they're supposed to start and stuff like that via Grafana. So that's cool. And then I'm using this. I know what it is. We were talking about looking for stuff for LLMs, like video cards and stuff in the Matrix. And so I was waiting to get one with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, an NVIDIA one, to go on sale. And none of them went on sale during Amazon Day. And 4060 Ti is what I was looking at, which is not a great card for gaming, but it's good for local models just because it has so much VRAM. But the bus speed is kind of slow, but that doesn't really matter with LLMs. So, but none of them went on sale. They had an open box one at Micro Center for $360, And man, I wish I would have snatched it up, but I didn't. I was waiting for that Amazon sale, like Honkey told me to do, but he was dead wrong because never mind.
Prime
So-
sucked. Prime Day sucked.
Yeah, I didn't get anything. There was nothing on my wish list that was on sale. Did you guys get anything for Prime Day?
Nothing.
Nope.
It was
Yeah,
garbage.
it was garbage. It was
Yep.
nothing at all I was interested in.
So
And the
Yeah.
sales, I love how they list the highest price that the item has ever been, and then the sale price is either the same price or more than it was the day before.
yeah, it's not it unless you're looking for, just get lucky and find something that you're looking for. It just happens to be on sale. I don't think it's worth it, but it gets hyped up. Like every news article I went across, I was talking about Prime Day. Here's how you find the deals on Prime Day. They're all BS.
Yeah, I didn't find anything either, and I had like hoped to find certain things. Wanted to upgrade some like wireless networking and stuff, and I mean the stuff they had on sale was not anything I'd ever want, so I didn't. Doesn't
Right.
matter if it's cheap. So anyway,
Yeah.
I have to run, guys.
Go ahead.
I'll see you next time. All right.
See you, Eric.
Good night, Eric.
Yeah.
Good night.
Hey there.
I was going to ask y'all that though, if y'all found anything on the Prime Day sales. I did not.
No, there was some stuff that are on sale or was decent price. I just didn't. Like I was looking at some liquid cooling fan for my desktop thing that I bought. That I've been setting up. That was like $39, but I didn't ever wound up buying anything. I'm not even sure if it was a Prime Day sale or whether it was just a regular sale or whatever.
I guarantee, if I had gotten Olama running with the new NVIDIA card, Lugbot would be awesome. Right now,
I sound like shit.
it's terrible. But I can, if I get that running, I can do speech to text and text to speech both ways with Olama. And there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Olama as far as connections to other programs and stuff. So I really want to get a really good local model running at home, and then I can access it, via Home Assistant, via all kinds of stuff, So, but I need a good card. How are you doing with stable diffusion?
Oh, so I installed some of the drivers from that article and stuff, and now I can't get it to work at all. So I got to go back in, and I'm probably gonna wipe stable diffusion and then restart it back, and then re-download it again. And yeah,
At least
So-
it's not that difficult a process once your
Exactly.
hardware is working. Yeah.
exactly. So that's not working right now.
What happened to your NextCloud?
So I got NextCloud back up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I gotta. What I wound up was able to do was I didn't have to go through the whole process of taking everything off the USB and then wiping it and then putting it back on through NextCloud. So I was just able to plug it in and then have NextCloud read it as a external storage, and so I'm just going to access it that way through the interface.
Mm-hmm. So how did that did that happen with an update, or what happened there? How'd it
Yeah,
get
I
borked?
did some sort of an update, and then it wouldn't boot anymore.
Mhm.
So I wiped it because I was using NextCloud Pi, and NextCloud Pi was basically just NextCloud built for single board computer, but it had like other features in it, like automatic updates and basically things like that. The different scripts built into it and a little configuration stuff for it. And so I got that. I used this time around. I used dietpi. I used basically just installed NextCloud through dietpi, and that's working again. Then I have this computer over here, which has been running Bunsen Labs, which is usually the one I use for recording. and on the New Year's show I use it for the stream. And for whatever reason, when I would do an update, it just gave me a bunch of errors. So I started playing around with apt on the sources.list and stuff like that, and it wound up it won't boot now. So I backed up a lot of the home directory, a lot of stuff from the home directory, and I'm debating whether I'm going to try to fix it or do a wipe and restart, and then just pull everything I had before from the home directory and see if I can get back to where I was before with that one. So I've had a lot of stuff break on me recently, and not a whole lot of good fixes.
Even Mumble.
Well, Mumble was on that Bunsen Labs
the same.
computer.
Okay, that's right.
So I reinstalled Mumble on one of my other laptops, because the Bunsen Labs one is a old. What the hell is this? It's an old Gateway that was my wife's old laptop that would run really hot. So I wound up taking it and basically I just use it for Mumble, the recording. I have the script on there to do that does the audio editing automatically. I have the archive.org script that it automatically uploads it after it's done doing the editing. And then I have, like I said, I have Butt on there to do the stream, the live audio stream, which we use for the New Year's show.
I was going to ask you Stable Diffusion, because I see people have been doing this lately where they'll take an image as a reference and then put in prompts to adjust that image. Have you been able to do anything like that?
I have not played with that yet, but I believe...
Is that, do you just upload an image to Stable Diffusion or something, or how does that work?
You can add. I've seen it where they have image to image, and you can kind of meld them together. All it is just a separate tab in Stable Diffusion, really.
I guess I never noticed that. But I think that would be cool to play with. If you see something that you want to kind of emulate, but you don't want to copy it, you can upload, like something you have for your game that you have an idea that you kind of want to use.
Right. Kind of meld the two images together.
Yeah, and then you add prompts to that and just how you want.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't really played with it. I saw that it was there. There was a couple of things like that. There was the image to image. There was now that I don't have it up, I can't see any of the what it is. But
because if I get that video card, I definitely want to install Stable Diffusion on there too. It's a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, it is.
I've got some gaming news.
What do you got for gaming news?
LinuxGamecast. The LinuxGamecast.
So, Bazzite, you ever heard of that? It's supposed to be a Linux gaming distro.
Oh, yeah.
It's based on uBlue, which is immutable Fedora. I installed that on my on one of my PCs, and I have an old video card. It's a GTX 950, I believe, with 2 gigabytes of VRAM. So it's not very powerful, but it's the only card I have left after burning out my other one. And so I wanted to get back into Steam and stuff and gaming, so I installed Bazzite on that computer. And if you're sitting in front of the computer and it probably works okay. Like, there were some games, like I was able to installed Linux on it. Installed Steam on Bazzite, and but it's immutable, so it's all flat paks and stuff. And on that machine, I've got a small NVMe I think it's 128 gigabytes. So I put, just for Steam games, I put a 4 terabyte SSD in there for storage. And Steam on bazzite can never. I mean, I would point Steam to that drive and say, okay, you install games here. And then it would do it. And then anytime I had updates or had to because I don't know if you ever mess with immutable distros, but they always get giant updates that take restarting. So every time I restarted, it couldn't find that disk anymore. Like it wasn't a like it wasn't a deal with FSTAB or anything like that. It was just Steam. Like the disk was there, but Steam couldn't see it. So I'd have to go through all the directories and point Steam to the disk. It was already mounted and everything. So that was a pain in the butt. But if I had just installed on the small NVMe, it would probably be better. I just don't have a lot of space on there. So what I really wanted to do was use Steam Link from my phone and my laptop and my little NVIDIA Shield tablet to play games. And it was no good remotely to access remotely via. And like I could, I'd have to re-roll it to it. It doesn't even come with OpenSSH server on it, so I'd have to re-roll the distro to include it in there. I didn't want to do that, and Steam Link would just show like a black screen when I was trying to access Steam. So maybe it works good as like just if you're in front of the computer and playing games on bazzite, and you don't need any remote access. But for me, it was just a bad experience. So instead, I installed Pop! OS, which I believe is based on Debian. And that's the System 76 in-house distro that they put on all their laptops and stuff, I guess. And I installed that because people were saying it's good for gaming, and they have two versions of it. They have the regular Pop! OS and Pop! OS NVIDIA. And so I installed Pop! OS NVIDIA to go with my card, and everything ran great, and it's not immutable, so I can use app to install, whatever software I need. And I don't have to rely on flat packs. Like the Steam flat pack that I installed on it didn't work right, but the Steam Dev worked just fine from the repos. And once you install, it doesn't really matter how old Steam is in the repos because it updates itself once you install it, because they want to make sure that you're secure and all that stuff. So once you install it, even if it's old, it'll update itself. And so I did that, and I could SSH into it fine, and I could Steam Link works great on it, on my Android phone, on my tablet, on my laptop. When you first set up Steam Link, you have to type in like 4-number PIN to pair it. But once you do that, it works great. And what's even better is that Steam Link works through WireGuard too, if you want to access it remotely. Like if you're somewhere else on the Wi-Fi, you just turn on WireGuard and you're basically on your network and fire up Steam Link, and then you're gaming on the go from your home PC. Same way that like Moonlight or Limelight works, except it's through the Steam interface. And and if you go on Steam Link, if you do desktop mode instead of big picture mode, then it's basically a remote desktop. So if you need to access your desktop through WireGuard, you don't have to install any kind of VNC software or anything. You already got Steam Link installed on your client. So it works great. I haven't had any issues so far, except my underpowered video card, trying to run some games. But other than that, like it's just what I was looking for. Was a way to play games remotely, because that computer, it goes into a cabinet out of the way. Nobody even sees it. So, and I don't like sitting in front of a monitor, and I have to do that at work all day. So, yeah, I give a thumbs up for Pop! OS. That's my Gamecast news. And they had the Steam Summer Sale, but I've got so many games that I haven't even played yet. I didn't even really look at it. Joe, are you my friend on Steam? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you were. Well, you should be.
I picked up 2 games during the Steam Summer Sale.
Did
That
you?
was the Gears of War 5, and they had a game that looks kind of cheap, but it looks kind of fun, was Van Helsing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Have you tried them yet?
Look, Gears of War 5 is great. I've liked, I played through the first 3, I think, all the way through. I'd never played 4 because 4 came out during a time when I had, the kids were much younger and I didn't have a chance to play it. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy those games.
Now, do you play this on your Steam Deck?
Oh yeah.
And it works pretty good? Works
Yeah,
fine?
yeah.
Nice.
I haven't had any problems. I think when it first came out, it wasn't playable on the Steam Deck, but I think they worked on it and got it so it is.
Last time I tried Steam on Linux was a long time ago, and a lot of games didn't work. And in the Steam client, you can select a filter for just show games that'll play on Linux. The little penguin filter.
Well,
and
the
there's
verified ones, yeah.
And there's way more games than there used to be in my
Oh, yeah.
library that will play now.
But,
compared
you
to
know,
several years ago.
A lot of the ones that are not like Steam verified will still play. You just have to do the research and put in the work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you know, some games that are Steam, or I don't know if they're Steam verified, but do show up on that Linux filter. I'll hit play and it'll just flash for a second and then
Yeah,
go
you
away.
also have to, on those, do a little bit of research as well, because sometimes you have to adjust the launch configuration.
So you can adjust it per game?
Yes, you can do it per game, and you can also pick like the Proton version, because some of them will not run on the regular Proton version, and you'll need to use like the beta. I don't remember what it's called. It's got its own specific name.
Well, I've been enjoying it. I have the little Razer Kishi remote control for my phone, the controller, and games have been really nice, and it's hardly any latency. Like, I don't know, but I don't play first-person shooters or anything, but just regular platformers work good. And
on your phone?
Yeah, on my phone. And
are you streaming them, or are you playing them directly on there?
Streaming them from my gaming PC to my phone via Steam Link. Now, when I use WireGuard away from homes, it depends on the Wi-Fi if I have a good enough connection.
Do you have a Netflix account?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, if you had a Netflix account, Netflix offers the remastered versions of like the first 3 GTA games.
Oh, like the top-down one?
Yeah. Well, the first 3. So GTA Vice City, which I guess is mostly top-down. It's more like directly above and behind.
Oh no, I mean like the first Grand Theft Auto, that 1 and 2.
Yeah, it should be 1, 2, and 3. And
3 was the first one in 3D, I think.
Right. It should be 1, 2, and VC.
VC, okay.
Because Vice City is one of them.
Okay. And if you have a Netflix account, you can get them from Netflix? On Android or Linux?
On Android.
Oh, on Android, okay.
The remastered versions that originally came out for just the Switch, they're available if you have a Netflix account and an Android phone.
That would be fun, but I don't have Netflix. Oh, and also I got a mouse, a Logitech M650L, I think it was what it's called. AliExpress had this soccer game during the Copa Americas tour, where each day you pick the winners and they give you so many soccer balls to bet on these games. And and you get real AliExpress money at the end of the tournament. So I had $10 I won on that game, and then I used that to buy that Logitech mouse. I haven't got it yet, but hopefully it gets here soon. So it'd be nice to have a little. And it's the one I use now. I don't know if you can really see it. It's kind of small. And the one I bought is like full size mouse. But yeah, that's my Gamecast news. Linux Gamecast news.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get going. It's been a long day.
Oh yeah, I bet it has. Yeah.
I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night, everybody. Happy birthday,
Good night, man. What do you got there, Mortensen?
Is that a new laptop?
The one you've been waiting
My
for?
Star Labs tablet finally arrived.
Really?
Nice. It looks cool.
It arrived with the wrong language keyboard, so I just got the new keyboard as well.
Nice.
Very nice.
Um,
Finally got it.
9.5 months, and it's about 9 months, and it's about the weight of a preemie.
So was the delay because of manufacturing or what? Do you know?
Yeah, manufacturing. So
Okay.
because I ordered the lap because I bought L a laptop and took it with me to Thailand, and when I came back, I ordered another one and got it in 2 days for my birthday.
That's quick.
In May. It arrived immediately. Yeah. And when they notified me they were shipping the tablet, it arrived in 2 days. Both of them, the laptop and the tablet, can get hot, and the up to hours battery life, which was one of the selling points for me, is
2
nowhere
hours.
close.
2 hours? Is that what you said?
No, up to. I think the tablet says up to 12 hours, and the laptop
12
says
hours.
up to 14.
I thought you said up
And
to
then
2
the
hours.
16-inch laptop, which they're still not shipping, is up to 16 hours. 18 hours? 18 hours, up to 18 hours. But the laptop doesn't last for 4 or 5 hours of actual use.
Right. And that's what kind of what are you doing on it? Browsing.
Cloud development, so doing containers and stuff. Which brings me to the next topic, which I think was the Sunday after the last podcast. Did I tell anybody on here that I got my Docker in the cloud stuff working with Nginx and the...
oh, really?
Yeah, it was a IPv4, IPv6 issue, either at Cloudflare's proxy stuff or an issue in DNS. And I was just stuck on that point for years now, trying to get that to work before I go any further. Because it works everywhere else, it has to work for me. And anytime somebody would actually look at it after 10 to 20 minutes of treating me like I was stupid for not reading instructions, and then showing that I had read exactly what they said and was using the examples that they were pointing me to.
That's frustrating. Isn't it?
And then people would look at it, and then they would try stuff, and they'd be like, "Well, this should work." And I was like, "Yes, we're on the same page." I'm hosting a Git library for a project. Somebody that I met in Southeast Linux Fest last year, and saw him again this year, and he hopped on a call with me on a Sunday afternoon, and we did a couple hours of troubleshooting, some inspecting the network inside the browser and things like that, and realized that it doesn't work when I'm proxying my IP with Cloudflare, which is why I bought Cloudflare, why I'm paying for Cloudflare. And since I set up IPv4 and 6 records, it wouldn't turn off the proxying. It was a bunch of on and off of the proxies, deleting IPv6, adding it back in, changing settings, and deleting IPv6 again before it would before I could turn the proxy off for IPv4. And once that all was taken care of, everything's working now.
So that was the issue then.
Yes. So I have 3 virtual servers, or 3 deployed cloud things. And so all 3 of them are working. Lugcast Lab. So I'm going to work on that on Sunday. There's people have come out of the woodwork that want to do virtualization, Docker and Podman.
Nice.
They've like, I remember you talking about that. Like, I really want to get into it now. My boss and people above him, they're talking about it at work when I've been told implicitly we're not going to do stuff like that. So everybody's changing their mind right now.
So so it's not nobody. Everybody's not jumping on the AI train. Now it's Podman and Docker.
Oh, they're doing the AI train also. No, they've got a whole group now dedicated to researching and validating and going through legal as to what can and can't be done and what we can use it for at work. But so Lugcast Lab is working. I'll be working on that. Joe still hasn't detailed what he's doing and why. Because at some point I'm probably going to wipe out that server and redeploy it as part of this is how you do it, and document that. So everybody who has sign-ons and keys, I will redeploy them, re-add users, redeploy scripts. I'll figure out a way
Joe was
to
just experimenting with it.
Yeah, I was just screwing around.
Yeah, he had
If you wipe it out, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, but I want to hear about your tablet.
I just got the English language. The resolution is way too high, and everything on the screen is way too small.
What's the DPI? Do you know?
I don't know what the DPI is, but it's
must be pretty high.
The resolutions were like 2800 or 3900 by something.
What's the what do you have? What comes installed on it? What distro?
I asked for MX Linux. I might try and install something else on it. I don't know.
How's the touch interface?
It seems really good. The touch is great. The pen is a little where you put the point down on the screen, it's off a little bit. Somebody else told me you have to go through configuration stuff for pins on everything. So I just haven't looked into it because the keyboard was French.
And then the what are the specs?
Just a moment.
And one more thing I was going to ask too. The on-screen keyboard. Does it have that?
I think I had an on-screen keyboard. I didn't use that. I just used the
French one.
Yeah, the magnetic one. So it is called the Starlight from Star Labs. It's a N200 processor with 16 gigs of RAM.
It's a fairly new
12-hour
CPU.
battery life. 3.7 gigahertz. Convertible design, aluminum chassis, and a 2K touchscreen. It comes with core boot, a backlit keyboard, 2160 by 1440, 300 CD /M2 brightness, 178 degree viewing angle, 12.5-inch screen, and a 65-watt USB-C charger. Easy updates, open warranty, and I went with MX Linux, but there's a variety of them. And I bought it early when it was $498. It's $713 now.
It's a magnetic keyboard.
Magnetic
In the connection. How it connects to the tablet.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it doesn't have an external power for the keyboard.
But you still haven't got your phone or heard about that?
Nope. I think we're at a year and a half of asking for a refund.
Damn.
That's not good.
I think I might have to dedicate time out of my day every day and go post things on all their social media and Facebook and
Whatever review sites you can find.
whatever review sites.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're still trying to sell them, aren't they?
They are still selling them, yes, along with other products.
Jesus Christ.
And it's from they're in the EU, so they have to, by law, provide refunds when asked.
I wanted to bring up something real quick. I meant to bring it up during the Linux Gamecast, so I'll just add it under my bazzite review, pop, OS review. It's called, and it's new, Games on Whales.
On whales?
Yeah, and I put like the Docker mascot is that whale.
Right.
I put the link in the show notes. It says stream multiple virtual desktops and games running in Docker. And if you go there, the website, it doesn't show you much, but at the top right is a GitHub link. And it has all their projects there. And the wolf is what you want to look at. And so what it is, it's a streaming server for Moonlight that allows you to share a single server with multiple remote clients in order to play video games. And so it's using Docker, and it's got a little video there too. It kind of shows you how it works, but it says allows multiple users to stream different content by sharing a single remote host hardware. On-demand creation of virtual desktops with full support for resolution, FPS without the need for a monitor or a dummy plug. Allow multiple GPUs to be used simultaneously for different jobs, like streaming coding on an iGPU while gaming on a discrete GPU. Provide low latency video and audio stream with full support for gamepads. Linux and Docker first. Run your games with low privileges and containers. Mostly hackable, just edit the config file. And it shows you there how to install it. It's pretty, at the quick start, it's just a Docker command line. I think the NVIDIA one is a little bit different, it looks like. But it's kind of cool. I used to use Moonlight, but I didn't do it in Docker. It was just natively installed. It's a neat project, and like, you don't have to just add games to Moonlight. You can add whatever you want. Like here, they have Firefox, Steam, RetroArch, Emulator Station.
Yeah,
and
Moonlight will do your whole desktop. So
yeah, do your whole desktop. But it's all running in Docker. It's kind of cool. It's still a brand new project, so I haven't tried it. I don't know what what the bugs and stuff are like. But
Did you drop the link?
yeah, it's in the show notes.
Looking for it.
Where I put the
Games on
bazzite.
Wales. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, something new that I thought looked pretty cool. That's all I had.
It is getting late, guys.
Yep.
And I had a long day, so
I'm running out of gas, guys.
yeah, I think that's the show, at least for me.
So
Talk to-
some one last thing. The my YUNO host that I shared out to people that's in my home. It was running on a low powered machine, and updates take forever. And my
Was this on the
prolific
AMD
synergy.
one?
Yeah, on the little AMD one.
Right.
I'm moving. I have installed YUNO host on SSD nodes. I moved my Linode to SSD nodes since it's now price compatible to the lowest offering on Akamai. And I've put several of the applications that people seem to be using, like searching and SearchX, Invidious, and a few others that are open to everybody without a sign-in. And then I think Scratch also is available for everybody. But I have about a dozen apps installed so far, and can install other ones upon request. And if people need user IDs to access the other applications, I'm going to try and get a front-facing portal page that gives more information about what's on it and what it's being used for and things like that. I just need to figure out how to do that in YUNO host.
Once you got past that little proxy hurdle, now you're going full steam ahead. Right?
All my cloud stuff that hasn't worked for 10 years is all DNS related.
That's crazy. I'm so glad you got it worked out, though. It had to be frustrating.
Yeah, and now I'm actually helping people, because even if I don't know what they're doing and don't like a quick search and I'm giving them the information that's fixing their problem.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this is just a launch pad for me and my learning, and I'm taking some of the Pluralsight classes for entry level enterprise shell scripting and things like that. And while I know 90% of what they're talking about, I'm like, yeah, I already know that. Yeah, I already know that. I'm seeing great things, some switches on commands that I didn't know about that are useful, and I'm hoping to have. I'm still putting together a Vim tutorial. I'm hoping I get some questions from people. What can you not do in Vim that you can do somewhere else that would help you switch? Because I want something for the very, very beginners that is I can make this useful today now. Now that I know this, I can make it useful today.
I don't know. I'm still leaning towards we need to do the battle of the text editors. We'll come up with some simple tasks and see who can do it faster between Vim, Nano, and BYOT. I guess bring your own text editor.
And we're supposed to do a deep dive into proxies too. Reverse proxies.
Yeah, we always seem to fuck that. I could probably show off how to just set up a simple thing in NCP in like a couple of minutes, but we never seem to ever do it. Because you and I were talking about
NPM.
9 p.m. That's right. What the hell is NCP?
Nginx Proxy Manager. Yeah, so everybody's told me that that's the easiest one to use, and that's what I was having trouble with. And I was like, I'm not switching to something else because I can't be this dumb. And it wasn't me.
No.
But everybody's like, switch to Caddy, switch to Space something, switch to Trafic. Which I tried Trafic and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't that was the problem.
Because it wasn't that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we can actually do I'm doing the Nginx proxy manager. I haven't set it up yet. I was going to install it this weekend on the Lugcast lab. It was going to be the first container because I haven't run that as a container in Podman. So Podman is what is installed on that server. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'm ready to say goodnight. I'll stop talking.
Well, yeah, I like the Battle of the Text Editor thing idea, but we'd have to come up with like what would be the challenges for the text editors? Like, what can we do? Who can do what faster and which text editor? I know Danny liked. You said he liked a lot of the GUI ones, like the Kate and.
Well, for development, yeah, I don't use it in the CLI or anything. I usually use what's that one? Not Nano, Pico. I like Pico.
Pico.
Yeah,
because Pico is powerful.
Mortsy says we have to use Vim, or we're not real Linux users.
Look,
Pico is the text editor for the Pine email program, and Nano is a clone of it.
Oh, really? Well, maybe that's not what I'm using. Oh, I know what I'm using. Micro.
Don't quote me on that, but that's what my memory says.
If Nano's a clone of Pico, I think I'm using Micro. Oh, Joe left.
Yeah, enough.
Sorry, Joe.
Well, he's still in. No. I was just gonna say.
Should we play the outro?
Well, 1 second. I just so in Lemmy, I had put that that link to where am I? A guy wrote an article called shit. There we are. SMTP, the death of decentralized email. And a lot of it was a lot of the history of SMTP and how it talks mostly about how it became very difficult for people to run their own email servers because of spam. And because of the high traffic and spam has made it so it's very difficult for people to run their own. Now, I think in his article, he actually says that it's next to impossible to try to run your own email servers, and that most people now just use the other, services like Gmail or whatever, which is true that most people use their own services as opposed to trying to host their own. It's not impossible, as you can prove and do. But it's obviously that was this guy's opinion, and
he's a moron. Actually, I see your point, but spam has never been a problem for me. What happens to people that run their own email servers is that the big tech companies who run the major email providers like Microsoft Outlook and Gmail and stuff, they'll send your email to spam if it doesn't come from one of them.
Right.
So that's their way of quote unquote protecting the users, but it's really their way of pushing out everybody so that you have to use their services.
Right. And
but death of centralized email. It's got -1 vote. Why did they do that to you? Did you say something on Lemmy? It just made everybody hate you automatically.
I put a comment into that about how it was mostly because it's a really good write-up about the history of SMTP, which I think it was. I mean, that's a huge article that gives a lot of detailed information about the history of SMTP. But I mean, and a guy obviously most of his stuff I think deals with Bitcoin and stuff. So it tried to throw in a little bit of that at the end. But I don't know. I thought it to be an interesting article. That's why I posted it, and I felt like I had to defend it here.
All right. Here, before we go off that topic, he has a paragraph on centralization here about as spam became a bigger problem over the years, and the accepted solution was reputation. This imposed a high cost upon being able to process the receipt of large volumes of email. because the approach to spam prevention was not to seek economic solutions to dissuade high-volume senders, this imposed costs upon receivers. The complexity required to maintain reputation lists, which I think they have lists that you can check to make sure you're not black holed or whatever they call it.
Well, he was also saying that a lot of times they'll just they'll do like large IP address numbers just because, and if you fall into that list, you get blacklisted.
Yeah, they'll blacklist your whole range.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Today's email servers will claim to accept incoming mail, but will delete it as soon as it is received, a practice referred to as black holing. The email servicers operated by tech giants permanently blacklist wide swaths of IP addresses and delete their emails without notice. And that's happened to me. Is like when I first started running this, I would email people and it wouldn't even be in their spam folder. It would just disappear. So it never even made it to their inbox. But I don't know what I did. I just kept messing with. I had to do all that. I think we talked about this before. There's a website you can go to where you enter in your email specs and all that stuff, and it'll tell you what needs to be done, and so it'll pass inspection or whatever. So I just kept doing that and fixing things, and now the only service I've seen that has problem with my email is Craigslist. When I try to set it up to sell stuff on Craigslist, it'll say it'll give me an alert that says because
they know you're shady.
Well, it's a
you have a reputation.
No, it even describes because you're using a generic IP address, which if you don't want a generic IP address, you have to get a business account, basically.
Right.
And and that's the only one. But anyway, that's the only one that's ever gave me any kind of problems since I got everything fixed. But other than that, I haven't had any issues.
I told you I had it up, and it was I was checking that that site, and I was getting it was like 98% or something like that. The one big thing that kept on getting rejected was I needed to have a reverse proxy saying that I wasn't that I was who I was or whatever, and the only way I could do that was to get a corporate email, corporate IP address.
Right. Yeah.
Go through get like Comcast Business for my internet.
No, I don't have to do that yet.
Didn't...
But I'm betting in the future there will be a time where people stop getting my emails and AT&T will tell me you need a business account if you want to keep using email. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool article. Unfortunately, Lemmy doesn't think so. Lemmy users don't think so.
Oh well, that's fine.
Oh wow.
Hopefully, listeners might go to it. All right, so time to shut her down, I guess. Go to the outro. All right. Our next recording date will be August 2nd, 2024. Our music is.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, I guess. Turn it down.
Trying to dial it in here. Why is it only playing?
You set volume when you turn it up or turn it on?
Is that too loud?
A little bit. I still got to talk over it.
Let's see if I can get it down a little bit more.
Good.
The thing is, it has.
And this is what happens when you test in production.
I don't have mumble set to detect audio at a certain level. That's why it has to be this loud. You know what I mean?
Well, our next recording date is August 2nd, 2024. Our music is downright provided by Cloud2 and Brome. Not this music. This music is brought to you by Danny.
I'll get it fixed by the next show, I promise.
I'd like to thank Danny for the use of his Mumble server, and for all the other things. He does the Matrix server, the Mumble server, the Lemmy server. He does this. I'm not sure if this is a positive or a negative, but it's happening.
I didn't like that.
Linux is amazing.
All right. I've been your host for this evening, Honky Magoo. With us tonight has been Minnix
Good night, everybody.
and Morton C.
What about Lugbot?
Good night, everyone.
Lugbot can say goodnight if he wants, I guess. If he can.
Let's see if he can. Lugbot, can you?
Good night, friends. I am sorry I am retarded.
Oh, poor Lugbot. See what you did? You hurt his feelings. You made him feel like crap. Good night, Lugbot.
Mm.